Welcome to I Collect, where I show you what I've collected. Things like this, or this, or this. Wait a second. This is a collection update video. So yes, this hasn't happened in a long time on this channel. This used to be a very regular thing, and I've even had people request that this come back because you can tell very much by my background and things of that nature that I'm a collector. I collect stuff. I like stuff. As much stuff as I can fit in this frickin' room is the stuff I like, and I'm constantly selling stuff and I'm constantly getting stuff. This collection almost pays for itself. In fact, there's 9 pieces of it that are literally being pieced out, like, actually, could be in a week or so. There's like 9 parts that just went up on things like Marketplace and stuff like that they're all buy, trade, and sell, constantly updating in here. And it just so happens that for the first time in a very, very, very long time, I actually made it out to a store. And I actually had expendable income. And that expendable income actually led to me getting something new in the collection. And we are going to go over those new items because some of them are pretty cool. So where do we start? Let's start with the simplest of items that people collect. This is very normal for all kinds of people to collect these items. And what's that? Movies. I found some new movies to put on the shelf. That's right, this was $14.99. This is the Divergent series. That's Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant. This, I don't know what I think about it. I really don't. My wife remembers watching Divergent. I don't. It's 4K. I only have about maybe 12 of these. It's a slow turnover rate, guys. You buy DVDs, you buy Blu-rays, you collect these items. It becomes a bit of a thing as to whether or not you want to let them go. It took me a long time to let go of all my VHS and move into DVD. And then moved into DVD, and then here come the Blu-ray, and then it took me a while to start changing over things where I'd find a Blu-ray, and I'd take the DVD off the wall, and I put the Blu-ray in, takes up less space, looks a lot better, and most of the time is a better movie. There are times when I have made mistakes, like when I bought The Wrath of Khan on Blu-ray and without watching it, just assumed it was the better version and sold the sold the DVD. That was wrong of me. I should not have done that because it fucked me in the end. It did. There's no way around it. It screwed me. See, when I made that decision, I didn't realize that the DVD was the director's cut and had scenes that I myself had become accustomed to. That became the way that I viewed The Wrath of Khan. Then all of a sudden, I get the Blu-ray and I get rid of the DVD and I watch the Blu-ray finally, like half a year later, and I'm like, where's that kid? Where's this scene? Why is this different? What's going on here? Maybe I'm watching the wrong version? And I keep looking for a version on the Blu-ray. Wasn't there. It was the theatrical cut that got released on Blu-ray, and I didn't realize that for the longest time I had been watching the director's cut. It took years for them to release it on Blu-ray in the way that I remember it and get it back. So, always pay attention as you're replacing parts of your collection. You may be losing something. Make sure you know what it is you are getting rid of. But yeah, that was the first one. The next, found Carrie on Blu-ray. Happy about that. It's the original Carrie. It's not the remake. It's the original movie. So that I'm excited for because I like classic horror. I like a lot of horror in general. In fact, there was one movie that I was looking for when I was there. I want The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I remember watching it maybe once, maybe twice, back when it first came out, and I remember liking that movie a lot. And strikingly, I'm noticing in the last year or so that there seem to be a lot of movies I'm missing because I moved into streaming shit, and it just became this idea like, oh, it's on stream, who gives a fuck? We basically own it. Like things like Armageddon. I like the movie Armageddon, but I don't own it. I owned it on VHS. I got rid of it on VHS. I got Netflix. It was on Netflix. They took it off Netflix. No Armageddon. Because you don't own the things you stream. You borrow them. And you borrow them until that company is ready for you to be done with them to watch new shit so that they can get new audience and new money. If you love a movie, if you have a tradition, like this whole Charlie Brown thing that came up, this whole Charlie Brown Charlie Brown pumpkin patch fucking thing, Christmas Story, I can't remember. One of the 2 or 3 of the Charlie Brown movies are under attack right now because they've went to an HBO service or something like that, and they will not be featured on television. And people are throwing a bitch fit. If you really cared, if you really gave a fuck, if that was your tradition, if that was your movie, if that was a love, if that was important to you, you should have owned it. You didn't care that fucking much. Television does not make your traditions. You do. It is up to you as a person in your family, in your life, to create traditions that matter and then follow those traditions through. It is not television that should be making those traditions. I own every single Rocky movie that there has been. 1 through 5, Rocky Balboa, Creed, and Creed 2. I own all of them. And I even bought Grudge Match just because the character is awfully similar. Now look, every November, and I'm sure I got into the habit of this because the first movie is Thanksgiving, takes place around that time. Every November I watch the entirety of the series. I do that because I own the entirety of the series. I've owned it all on VHS, I've owned it all on DVD, I own it all on Blu-ray, and when it comes out on 4K, I'll own it all on 4K, and I'll keep moving in that direction, because that's important to me. I do it every single year. That is a tradition for me. Charlie Brown on television was not a tradition. If you give a shit, buy the movies. Well, I noticed that I fell into this habit of allowing myself to be exactly where television shit is, exactly where the streaming is, where it decides what my tradition is, what I want to see, when I want to see, how long I want to see it. And now I have all these movies that I thought I had that I don't have. And when movies cost $4, I should have owned Carrie a long fucking time ago. Halloween. This is not the original Halloween. In fact, this is so stupidly fucking named that I missed this movie completely. I didn't even know that it happened. I don't know how this movie passed me by, but this is another movie called Halloween, and I did not realize that that was a thing, and I did not realize that this takes place, like, after everything else. Okay, chronologically, I think the only movie that actually happened was, like, the first film, and then he didn't actually follow her to the hospital, but I didn't even know this was a thing. I had no idea this was a thing. I didn't realize it was a thing until this Halloween. I sat down and watched every Halloween movie, and then when I finished the Halloween movies, she got to looking online, and we saw this preview for a new Halloween movie coming out, but it very much looked like it was following another Halloween movie, so we got to looking and figured out that this was a thing. I didn't fucking know that. But I own it now, so it. Movie about things that float. Actually, I didn't like the original. I thought the original was boring as shit. And I know I know that people, I've been given shit about that before, but this, I've heard is well done. I've seen a couple of scenes, it interests me. I even own the original It. I just do not care for the movie. But I'm hoping that one, I'm hoping, because I really don't like the original. But that was there, it was $11. I was like, it'll be free, because we've already bought this many movies, and then we get 2 free, and so, yeah, there you go. I bought it. It's stupid fun. It's $4. I liked Independence Day. I seen it in the theaters. I seen it with my dad and a buddy of mine. And I remember watching it and thinking jets were cool. I didn't grow up and watch like Hot Shots. That I like missed that movie. So my jets are cool experience came from Independence Day, and then from there I became backwards interested in things like Robotech, and then thought jets were cool for a while, and then kind of liked the idea that Hal Jordan was a test pilot, and I liked Independence Day, and I bought the second one. I thought it was exactly what the first one was. It was a dumb, barely put together excuse to have an alien catastrophe movie. And aliens is dumb. And they can't handle simple strategies and simple development of technology that would save their race. So humans win because of simple dumb shit. Like exposing your queen to direct fucking fire when you had an entire army that could have done that job for you. Or not putting a firewall on your system so that our fucking notebook could hack it. Or not being intelligent enough to understand that you should not link your main ship with all your other little ships in case something happens to the main ship. Your other ships need to be able to, I don't know, fucking function. Like, but I liked them. What can I say? Jeepers Creepers movies. Got both of them. $6. Happy with that. This is the second Escape movie. I loved the first Escape movie and did not even realize that they had made a second one of these, so I'm excited to watch this one. If you don't know, the first Escape movie deals with this guy who he purposely gets thrown into prisons and then beats their system and finds a way out of their prisons, and then goes back to the prisons and tells them, this is how I escaped. These are the situations that you need to look for. This is the kind of precautions that you need to be taking because I walked right out your front door. Pretty cool movie. They then end up capturing him, and he goes basically through hell because he doesn't agree to this one prison and they want him out of the way for some reason. Big dumb reasoning is dumb, but then it leads to a really cool fucking plan movie where they have to create an escape plan and escape. Now here's another one of those movies, and it's still Sylvester Stallone, so I'm interested. Had they changed the actor and just tried to move on, I probably would not have actually been interested. But because I really like what Stallone has been doing practically my whole life. Sure, he's had his dumb shit. Every action stars do dumb fucking movies. But I really think he came into his own majorly. In the last couple years, I have liked everything that he has done. Pretty much from Expendables 1 on, I don't think I've seen a project that he has been a part of that I haven't liked. And that was all the movies I collected. So let's move on to the stuff. So the stuff, here's where the stuff starts. The stuff starts right here. I don't normally do the fuzzy blanket thing. It's not really me, but it is winter. I am going to spend some time just kind of like hanging out on the couch and whatnot. And we walked in, and the very first thing I came across when we walked in was a bunch of blankets. And at first I saw like a D&D blanket, and I wasn't even going to get a blanket. I was not. honestly, I had no intention whatsoever of getting a blanket. And then I kind of look across the top of the blankets and I do see this one blanket. It's a Gundam head. And I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. That's Gundam. And Gundam is not a thing that's like promoted nowadays. We'll put it that way. Like it's just not, guys. You don't go into the Toys R Us and find your Gundam toys anymore. You don't go into Walmart and find the section with all the Gundams. It's not a thing anymore. They don't promote it anymore. So when you come across it, it's really interesting and exciting to come across it. Well, it was just a Gundam head, and I was just gonna pass that by, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh, holy shit, that is cool. That's Amuro. He's walking away from the Gundam. It's got the logo down on the bottom. I'm going to buy it. It was $24. To me, that's a lot. But I had just come into about $200, which was the reason we went to this collection shop in the first place. And I bought it. Let's see it. Pretty solid. That's pretty good. Okay, so $24. This thing is soft as shit. I can already tell it's warm as shit. Holy crap, it really is too. Like, there's no way I can actually sit here in this. I'm not the kind of person that gets cold easily. So, like, this is for when you are cold. This is a cold night thing. But damn, is it soft. Like, this thread count must be super high. This is probably why my wife seems to buy these damn things all the time. So I'm going to drape it in that chair over there and we're going to move on because we still have 3 more items to talk about, but this was the first that I wanted to point out. So, yeah. Okay, so now that it looks like I have a love pillow of Amuro in the background of my videos, let's go ahead and talk about the next item that I came across, which is also Gundam. So it was 2 back-to-back Gundam things that I found. I found something from Side Story. Now, this, I barely remember this. I seem to remember it being a game, and I don't even remember necessarily this character. This character may have been the transmission person, the person that sent the transmission, the communications officer that talked to you, if I remember anything. Here was my thing. I came across it. It was $12. At $12, I was like, can I complain about this? Because, I mean, she's cute. Oh, damn it. She's cute. She's got the original Federation uniform. I like the original UC Federation uniform a lot, actually. I really do. If I could get one, I would so fucking wear one of those. Like, I would go to a con dressed as one of those because it's simple and there's no reason you could tell me that I couldn't just be some random gym Federation pilot. This is, says that it's from the side story from Place Beyond the Blaze. I'm going to look that up because she looked familiar when I walked by it. And I kept referencing back to a PlayStation 2 game that I had played. And maybe I'm imagining things, but I feel like I've seen her before, and I can't help but wonder if she was the transmission officer. But here was my idea in actually buying this thing. I'm going to, of course, take her out of this box, and I'm going to put her over there with the Gundams, because it'll be neat to have a little pilot standing over with the Gundams. So, okay, here's where my show drives collectors crazy. This is where my show makes collectors cringe. I'm going to open this thing, because I open my stuff. I sometimes hold on to the boxes, but I open my parts of my collection, especially if I intend to keep them. I don't just keep them in boxes and hang them on the wall or some. My action figures are not cherries, we'll put it that way. If I bought it, I want to display it. It's for my happiness at this moment. I'm not a resale value buff. I'm not worried about that shit. I bought it. I want to display it. It's part of my fandom. That's what I do. I'm going to open this thing. So if that's the kind of thing that drives you crazy, get ready to cringe, because I'm going to open this damn thing and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to do it. Okay, so I can't guarantee. Maybe she was from a con or something like that, but she looks like she was never opened. Every single part of the original plastic seems to be here. So there's that. And there's another, see what I mean? Like every part, somebody either kept the crap out of their boxes, but then here's the part that makes me feel like it wasn't just somebody kept their boxes. Yeah, that fucking happened. That's for her feet. But, like, she's still, like, sealed in. Like, there's actually tape there, and there was the plastic covering even though she fell out. Okay. So there's the little one. And she's super cute. That's going to be neat to put over there by the Gundams. Now, the next one that we're going to put up there by the Gundams, the star attraction, if you will. That's her foot there. Both slip in very nicely. Works very well. And I like that that is the actual Federation symbol right there. That's really cool. And there she is. And it's nice. It's just a nice little figure. And she's made in China. Her butt told me that, by the way. Her butt told me that she was made in China. She's nice. She's very nice. I like this. I like this a lot. Like, I like this a whole lot. She's cool. She's cute. She's got the little salute thing. She's wearing the uniform that I like. She's got this little thing that came with her. It's supposed to be like a keychain. I'm never going to do that. There's no way I'm going to carry around this little chibi girl thing on my keychain. Can't do it. Can't do it. But I'm more than happy to put her with the Gundams over there because I really think it will look good over there with the Gundams. So, 2 more items to go. Okay, so I put her over there. She's over by the Gundam. In fact, she's in front of both Gundams. The littlest one is in front of this one right here. Not that you can necessarily see her back there. And then the other one is in front of that one right there. That's where they are. So she's back on the shelf now, which is cool. She may get moved to in front of the computer display because there's like, it's kind of barren over here. I got these really cool coasters. But like, that's all that's over here. Who knows? Probably not. Next item. I got something new for the Wonder Woman shelf. She's cool. I like this hard 80s look. I like that she has muscles. It's cool. Designed by Alex Ross is what it says. Sculpted by Tim Bruckner. JLA's most intense battle ever fought with the stakes so high it's beyond imagination. I'm not sure exactly what storyline this was taken from. It says Justice. Maybe that was the storyline. I honestly cannot remember. This was her traditional look of the 80s. That's the reason it caught my attention. And I decided to go ahead and get it. And of course, because I'm going to put it on that shelf over there, let's look at her. Let's open this. Let's open this box that has, like, as far as I could tell, never been opened. Okay, so taking her out of the box was legitimately tough. The box is all bashed in and kind of crappy, and that's the way these boxes get. And I prefer to put this Wonder Woman on my shelf, so we are going to pull this last part. Damn! This plastic here that is in there like a son of a bitch. Give me the Wonder Woman! Almost got it. There's the stand. It's just a standard stand. This leads me to believe that she has those little pegs that come out of her feet, so she can't stand normally. Oh, nope. Okay, there's pegs here in this little bitty bag. This little bitty bag. Whoo! This is definitely some being adult shit, because there's no way. If you would have got this for your kid, that's the little pegs that came in that little bitty bag. We're going to put them there in front of that mic, and then we're going to undo these. I I love the idea of getting a new Wonder Woman. Every time I can get a new Wonder Woman on that shelf back there, and I've talked about it in streams and whatnot, and I've talked about it on the show, and I've talked about it on the podcasts, and I've even just posted it just for people that want to read like some little articles and shit like that. Wonder Woman is one of those things that when I was growing up, I didn't realize that she would become as important as she became. That she would become like this interesting representation for what I feel I like in terms of like a lot of comics and shit like that. Oh, her feet are still stuck in here. So this had never been opened. This is me getting to open this. This is me getting to ruin somebody's dream of finding one of these sealed. And that brings me a joy that you just can't imagine, because I prefer to display my stuff. I prefer to actually open it. I don't give a shit about the resale value. Maybe I missed out on $100, but or maybe more. Who knows? Maybe somebody somewhere for some reason was crazy enough to be like, holy shit, man. If you wouldn't have done that, I'd have given you $1,000 on the spot. You know what? I can live without your $1,000, in all honesty. I really can. Because what I'm going to get out of it in the long run is going to be more important to me. She's solid. She's super solid. I like the muscular details in her arms. I like the muscle details in her legs. Boots are fairly solid. She is solid frickin' material, too. Like, damn, that is hard fucking plastic. I'm not exactly huge on the angular face, but I know why they did it, and I still think she looks absolutely great. I like that the rope is a real little rope over here. She's solid. She's very, very solid. And I also like this little thing on the breastplate. That's an actual little plate, the bird that actually comes down, it pokes out. You could poke your finger on it. I just touched her boob. That wasn't my intention. But yeah, cool. Very cool. It'll look really good on the Wonder Woman shelf. And now it's time to go to the very last item. Let's do that. Okay, so Wonder Woman is over there. Box is, and she looks good on the shelf. She looks great on the shelf with all the other Wonder Woman. All the other Wonder Women. Wonder Woman because there's only one, but there's multiple of her. Different universes. When two different Batmans meet up that are from different universe, they're considered Batmans, so they're, or Batmen, I guess. So yeah, it's a plural thing. Wonder Women are up there on the shelf, and I just showed them to you, and that was nice. So let's move on to the very last item that I came across. We were about to leave, and I was more than happy dropping 150 of my dollars. Bought a whole bunch of movies, got some cool collector's stuff. I was on my way out. I mean, some movies were $14 and whatnot. And at $150, like I said, I picked up $200. That was the whole reason we went there. It was not my initial intention to spend all of it. They got me. They got me because I was just about to leave. And up on the top shelf, I saw something. And I wasn't 100% sure of what I saw. I almost had to wonder if I needed my glasses checked, because maybe I hadn't been seeing good for a while. And I squinted up there, and I was like, I can't tell what it is. Took my glasses off, I adjusted, and put my glasses on. I looked again, and I said, what the I said, hey, can I ask two questions? One, do you have the Exorcism of Emily Rose? That came back negative. And I said, oh, well, shit. Okay. I'm sure I'll find it at some point. What is that thing? Can you get that down for me? I know it's all the way up there. Can you please get that down for me? Because I think that's an NX-01. And sure enough, when he did get it down for me, it was an NX-01. And then I tried it. I was like, oh, shit, try me. Oh, sad face. This is such a big deal to me. For one, I like Enterprise. Okay? I like it. I think it is a good series, and I don't give a shit. I think it is a good series. For two, I've never seen one of these. Ever. I've seen small NX-01s. Like maybe this big. That's probably the biggest one I ever saw, was a little metal model thing that was about this big. And I saw other ones that were like the small ones like this. I've seen them, but I've never seen a big one. I've never seen one that could be on scale with some of the other stuff that I have. Because I have an original Enterprise ship. I have the Enterprise D. I have the Enterprise B. And I had an Enterprise A. It was destroyed because I have kids. That's what happened to it. My daughter decided that it was like a car, and she took it off the shelf, and she like put it on the ground and scraped it on the ground and was like, vroom, and, you know, had it upside down or whatnot so that the nacelles were on the ground, was pushing on it, the nacelles went prank, and that was it. That was it for the A. So the A got destroyed, so I got to replace the A at some point. But I could find the A. The A is easy. I could go online right now, type it in, find A, and I could probably have done it with this too. But I've never just physically come across. I've come across the Enterprise before. I go down to FYE or whatever. I go to the mall in one of those weird little specialty shops. It doesn't have to be a specialty shop. It can just be a shop like that sells movies and shit. And somewhere in the back, there's an original Enterprise. There's an Enterprise D. There's a Sovereign ship. But I have never, ever come across an NX-01. Ever. I don't even know this toy company. This isn't even the normal people that put this stuff out that I know of. So I don't know if there was something to this that they were releasing toys, because this could just very much be a toy. It may not be like a model thing or like, you know, one of those display ships, like, but I think it is a display ship. I think it very much is one of the display ships like I have downstairs. We're going to take it out of this box. And there's like a coin that comes with it. I don't know what the shit that's about. But we're going to take it out of this box because I want to put this thing downstairs. And I've never, ever come across an NX-01 in the wild. Never. So when he got it down, and it had a $50 price tag, I was like, shit. Because I have the money, but it wasn't my intention to drop all the money. I mean, I got like a $200 profit that kind of came from out of nowhere, and I said, okay, well, that's cool, so I got this money so I can go down there. So for the first time in a very, very, very long time, as you could tell, you remember the last collection update? Because it's been a long fucking time. I actually went on a collection hunt. And with $50 left, it was almost like they couldn't wait to take my money. Because they have this one last item that's $50 fucking dollars. And it was sitting up there. And this is dusted. When I got it down off the shelf, well, when he got it down off the shelf and he brought it over to me, he brought it over and he set it down and he was like, ooh, sorry, that's probably been up there for a while. And I said, no, it hasn't. I've been in here many times and I've never once looked up there and seen it. And he said, well, sometimes what happens is merchandise comes in and then we buy the merchandise, then we have to set it in the back, and then we have kind of like a system that kind of filters things out to the floor. So stuff comes from the back and it goes out to the floor after it's been priced. They price it once or twice or whatever, and they look at their inventory and where they have dead spots. If they have an open spot for like a big thing, they put a big thing there. This sat in the back for so long that the dust on top of it was like black. So this thing has been sitting in that store for probably like a while. And I'm going to open this damn thing because I want to see this fucking thing. Because I liked the NX-01. Okay, so I showed you that coin thing. I was hoping this was a little metal coin. It is not. It's a little plastic coin, and it serves virtually no purpose whatsoever other than to just be a neat little coin. If it would have been metal, it would have been different. So while that thing is cool, it means practically nothing to me. It is a display ship. It comes with a stand. It's not a bad stand. It's the actual little thing from the show, so that's pretty cool. There's that. As far as I can tell, we're going to clip that in here, here, and here. And that will end up being the stand. Not bad. I'm sure it will work. It's pretty heavy. It's got a little bit of heft to it. So that's not bad at all. This part right here is how it pops into that stand, if I am not mistaken. And as far as I could tell, we do that by unscrewing this part right here and replacing it. So this is kind of like almost like a toy that then turns into a display ship. And it's pretty solid. Here's what I'm going to say. If this is a toy, and it's very possible that this is nothing more than a toy, it's at least well done. Look, I've had toys that look worse than this. In fact, my first Enterprise when I was growing up was an Enterprise D toy, and it was not the greatest thing ever, but I liked it a lot. And this, I've had worse ships than this. So this sitting down there with everything else, with the other three ships, is going to look just fine. But I want to hear this thing. I want to see these light up. I want to see the backs light up. I want to see what this thing looks like. So this is where we put hope that this thing did not come batteries included, which I think it did. And if it did, I don't know how old this thing is. And I don't know how long those batteries have been in there. But I'm going to pop this thing open. And if I can replace the batteries, I'll replace them. And then I'll replace this. And then we'll listen to what this thing sounds like. Let's do that. Okay, so here we are. I did open it up. The batteries were old. They were leaking a little bit. Not as bad as I expected it to be. In fact, I expected to see a lot worse when I opened the guts of this thing. Okay. I had a little bit of problem with this. I got this, and I took it off, and then I had a little bit of trouble putting on this bottom part here that's going to end up holding the ship in general onto the base. I don't know why I had trouble. But when I finally got it on there, I switched it to normal. And this, I guess, is the moment of truth. Let's see if anything happens. Awesome sound. I saw lights. Very nice. Okay, so these are going to light up. They don't look like they're the greatest lights in the world, mind you, and I wish that these would have lit up, but I don't see that they do. Oh, I didn't expect that. There's a little light that comes on right here. Okay. That one surprised me. And let's check the back. I like that. I like that those back fin... It's all ship noises. Okay. What can I say? There's only one problem. The dish. I'm going to try to straighten that out when I put it on the shelf with the other ships, which if you're interested, those are the other ships right there. Try to straighten it out before I put it with them. But I don't want to break it, so if I do, I'll have to glue the front back on or whatever. This is solid. Only ship sounds. I'm curious, if we hold it in, can we switch it to... Damn. On the other ships, if you hold it in, and I know this is not the same company, but on the other ships, if you hold the button in, it'll either do two things. It'll go through a loop of all the sounds, or it'll permanently turn those lights on for as long as you leave it like that, and then you can display it or whatever, and you can have the lights on, and it's really cool. This thing will be cool. This thing will be really cool. I honestly believe that I kind of... Whew, that thing is really not liking to pop on there, is it? There we go. And I actually like that, too. I think I may even keep it kind of like that, where it's got that little edge. I think, in fact, I almost wonder if it was designed that way so it could be held, so it could be displayed, because now it'll sit on the shelf, and I'll see the ship. I'll see the top of the ship and everything. That's cool. That's a good stand. And it's got a decent counterweight here. Solid. And that was the first collection update in a long time. These videos are long, if you didn't know. And it's a lot of just me talking about stuff and collection stuff in general, and giving off little stories about my hunt and everything like that, and maybe showing off a cool shirt. And this company, I guess I'm not surprised I didn't know about them. If they do like Kiss action figures, Iron Maiden stuff, and little things like that. Not that those things are not cool. I would not mind having Eddie. I would buy Eddie and put him somewhere. But, yeah. This is not a company that I knew of. It's definitely surprised me. I'm going to look up some of their stuff, because I just feel like there was a different company that I bought all my Star Trek stuff from. And this... Yeah, it says Psycho Toys for Crazy Kids. Cool. Cool. They're the ones that did it. They're the ones that made this Enterprise. Nice NX-01. $50 was a lot of money, to be honest with you. But it's one $50 drop to be able to put the NX-01 somewhere downstairs alongside the other ships. And quite frankly, I'm actually okay with paying that. So, this was the collection update video for looks like 11/15/2020. Yeah, I had to actually check the date. I'm that out of it. And I hope that this will not be the last one, since it has been requested that I bring these older videos back where I just kind of hang out and talk. And this is supposed to be a podcast collection fandom channel in general, then that's what I'm hoping I can start doing. So, finally, after all this time with one another, you no longer have to look at my face. I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.